Welcome to your Around the Peninsula. I'm Army Sergeant Aaron Sherwood. In light of recent provocations from North Korea, the alliance between the United States and its partners has never been more crucial. Senior Airman Chris Duckworth reports from Osan Air Base.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson arrived at Osan Air Base on his first trip to the Pacific region since his confirmation last month. This is the second leg of the Secretary's trip to Asia. On his first stop in Tokyo, he met with Shinzo Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan. According to a senior State Department official, this trip will allow the Secretary to continue to engage allies and partners on not only a range of bilateral issues, but also to discuss and coordinate strategy to address the growing nuclear and missile threat from North Korea.
Secretary Tillerson is scheduled to meet in Seoul with Acting President Kyo An-hwang and Foreign Minister Byung Se-yoon, where he will convey the United States' continued strong support of the U.S.-South Korean alliance. Senior Airman Chris Duckworth, Osan Air Base, Korea.
After his visit to Seoul, Secretary Tillerson is expected to travel to Beijing to meet with senior Chinese officials. Without fuel, nothing moves, and the mission can't continue. Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp takes us to the point of resupply.
Putting fuel in the tank is the primary duty for a petroleum specialist. But for the soldiers of the 3-2 General Support Aviation Battalion, who are setting up a forward, arming, and refueling point, it goes a little further.
We've set up a combined ROC-US FARP, and what we've been doing for the past couple days is cross-training on one another's equipment and one another's airframes to ensure that we each know how to operate and provide fuel resupply at a forward location to one another's aircraft should the need arise.
The experience with working with the ROC on how the similarities, but the small differences and how we're able to teach each other to kind of compromise.
So I think it's been a beneficial experience for both sides to know exactly what goes into the other side's fuel resupply systems, and being able to reconcile those differences and kind of navigate those regulations in order to get the mission done.
Joint training exercises such as this FARP mission help to strengthen the ROC and U.S. alliance from the bottom up, ensuring that both nations are ready to fight tonight. Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp, Incheon, Korea.
As a highlight, soldiers were able to demonstrate their skills for U.S. and Korean commanding generals in attendance. There are many complexities involved with conducting military training operations. I got a chance to learn more about the logistics and the troops participating.
Marine forces work with civilian contractors to transport tanks from Shinhae Port to their next destination for an upcoming training exercise.
So we've offloaded the tanks in these last few days, and what we're doing is a limited technical inspection of all that equipment to transfer that custody from Blunt Island Command to us at the ground combat element.
This equipment needs to get exercised, so this is one of the prime opportunities for us to come out here and partner up with our civilian side and use this equipment.
It's pretty much just to help train our Marines, both on the reserve and active side. It always comes down to the aspect of train like you fight and fight like you train.
Army Sergeant Aaron Sherwood, Shinhae, Korea.
The exercise enables ground forces to conduct further operations if necessary. Army Sergeant Ricky Perez takes a look at how International Women's Day is celebrated on Camp Humphreys.
The USAG Humphreys family in MWR takes over the fitness annex for a friendly competition to celebrate International Women's Day. The participants attend the event to honor the accomplishments of women worldwide, but also to partake in one of the many conditioning opportunities offered at the facility.
If they came out specifically for this event, then they can see that not only can I do these exercises and stuff, but hopefully they'll be able to come out and share the success of their event with other friends.
The competitors perform a specific amount of repetitions for each exercise, totaling a number that holds a special meaning.
The significance of the numbers is that 1920 was the year that women got their right to vote, and then it's been 97 years since then. So we added all of the exercises and divided so that each number will add up to 97.
The workout competition provides a way to recognize International Women's Day while supporting the physical fitness of women in the local community. Army Sergeant Ricky Perez, Camp Humphreys, Korea.
The Camp Humphreys Fitness Annex offers a variety of fitness programs tailored to those in the local community. In the military, it helps to have a solid mentor throughout your career. This is also true in academics. Staff Sergeant Soka Hu takes us to Daegu American School, where students get a crash course in photography.
After looking at the world through a lens, students learn how to improve their passion behind the camera. AFN Daegu broadcaster Army Sergeant Alon Humphrey teaches basic photography skills to curious students.
I'm just thankful to have had the opportunity to teach the middle schoolers my craft and better help them mold their passion in our field.
Once the students learn the basic theories of exposure, composition, and lighting, they go through a small exercise allowing them to put their newly learned techniques to use.
It's a great opportunity for students to work with AFN professionals to get the insight into how to do video shoots and photography shoots.
Reporting from Camp George, Korea, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Soka Hu.
Looking like he's looking at something. That's pretty good.
Daegu American School will continue to have workshops with AFN Daegu. Once upon a time, several Humphreys families had a breakfast straight out of a fairy tale. Sergeant Stephen Dornbos opens the book on this story.
Storybook royalty enchanted children at the Flightline Bar and Grill, located on U.S. Army Garrison Humphreys. One of the princesses at the event has an alter ego as Private First Class Christine Ketchens with Unit 557 Military Police Company. Naturally, I asked PFC Ketchens if children like her more when she wears a tiara or a badge.
So as Princess Tiana, surprisingly, they're scared of me. I don't know why. I guess because as a character, you wouldn't realize that you'll be able to meet them. You think that they're just in a movie and you'll never be able to meet them before. But as a military police, they just love coming up to MPs, and they're not intimidated or anything. And I guess that's a really good thing as well.
So how does an MP become a princess? It started with the Humphreys FMWR, which is short for Family, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. They were looking for actors to star in an upcoming play.
They were putting information out saying that they need people for the play Beauty and the Beast. And along with that, my great friend, also MP, Specialist Campbell, she was like, oh, you should do it, And also there's a character brunch. And then there was Princess Tiana's in there. And I was like, I gotta be Princess Tiana. I can be Princess Tiana. I can be a princess and a cop at the same time. I got this. I know everyone supported me, my unit supported me, so I came out and did it. It was great. I loved it.
What did Christine think of playing with children dressed as a princess in comparison to her daily job wearing a badge and a gun?
If anyone's thinking dressing up like a princess is silly, it's not. It's the best feeling ever. You get to wear these big old dresses and you get to twirl around in them and you get to dance with children and make them smile. So you guys, if you ever get a chance to do this again, you should do it.
It seems Christine's princess experience is picture perfect. Now that's the kind of mugshot people want with an MP. Army Sergeant Stephen Dornbos, Camp Humphreys, Korea.
The Character Breakfast Buffet is in conjunction with the Humphreys FMWR production of Beauty and the Beast, which will hit the stage later this year. That was your Around the Peninsula for this week. To see these stories and others, go to the AFN Pacific website or view them through the AFN Pacific app. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.
Travel to the heart of Seoul, Korea with a vacation experience at the MWR Dragon Hill Lodge. Enjoy comfortable, spacious, American-style accommodations, a perfect home base to discover Seoul. Explore a hidden paradise of majestic mountains, delicious food, and a traditional culture in a modern, vibrant city. Visit dragonhilllodge.com today.
Speeding and illegal parking off-base topped the list of SOFA traffic violations in South Korea. Make sure to obey posted parking and speed limit signs. The double blue line is designated for vehicles with 6 passengers or more during the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. At toll gates, a solid blue line is for high-pass equipped vehicles only. These are your rules of the road.